as dominating performance as we've seen in a Super Bowl.
Lucky to be up and on his feet after that one.
The Giants had no chance. We knew they weren't going to have a chance.
And the best defense in the business is showing the world why.
Yeah! The difference between swagger and arrogance.
Come on, baby, one time.
As long as you don't make it about you, and you make it about the team, the we, and your objective, then you can pass off all the criticism you want for swagger, for arrogance, for ego, because that's just from people that don't understand what it takes to be a champion. We're all getting on the buses, heading to the airport, and as we transitioned onto the freeway, a car came in from the on-ramp and forced the buses over into a police car that we actually pinned between the barrier and the bus, kind of ran up on its side and went down. Of course, we're going to the Super Bowl, so we're stopping for nothing. Everything was okay, but set a good metaphor for the fact that nothing's going to stop this team.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Super Bowl 35.
How cool is this?
You guys are paying me for this? Jeez.
We had clearly identified our personality. We had the greatest single-season defense in the history of the game. I knew what they didn't know, that they weren't going to be able to run the ball.
They don't know how fast we are.
And as much as they were going to try to be balanced and take Tiki Barber and run him at us, I knew they weren't going to get anything out of that.
They shut that play down very quickly.
It took until about the middle of the second quarter for them to recognize, boy, we just can't run the ball. And once our defense sensed that, we knew they were going to have to throw it, and now we were all over it in terms of knocking the ball down, interceptions. Offensively, outside of our form, we came up with the big vertical play.
Back to throw, Trent Dilfer. Throwing deep down the middle for Stokely. He's got it, 10-5, touchdown!
It's a 2-by-2 formation, so you spread them out, and you basically send 4 verticals down the field. And if it's too deep, then you have one guy on the slot that's called a bender that bends in. You try to find him between the hashes. But they were single high. And not only were they single high, but they had, rightfully so, were all preoccupied with Shannon Sharp on the left side of our formation. So the free safety left Brandon Stokely one-on-one with Jason Sehorn. And Jason Sehorn played Brandon like he thought he was going to get help over by the safety, even though the safety was over on Shannon. Sehorn kind of got hung out to dry there, and Brandon Stokely had our first touchdown.
Like, I wouldn't play that way. If I think I'm having help, I'll play inside. That's the only bummer.
Collins with the football, pretty good protection, throws over the middle, incomplete. Oh, big hit.
yeah!
Ike Hilliard took a shot.
Hilliard says, what was that truck number?
Oh, he'll think twice about going in there again.
The defense that we had the unique combination of great athletes, but very smart athletes, and they did their homework. They knew what was coming. Their ability to read and react was instantaneous.
And Collins in the shotgun on the snap from Ziegler in the pass, broken up by Ray Lewis with no flag on the field.
Ray Lewis was spectacular. He had 4 breakups of passes. I always said, you just dropped 4 interceptions. I don't know, you shouldn't be the MVP, just jokingly.
Giants are at the 45 of Baltimore. Here comes the rush.
We were putting a great deal of pressure on Kerry Collins. So naturally, we felt like they're going to have to get the ball in their hands quickly. So our DBs were very focused on jumping the underneath routes, getting very quick on the slants.
We're in the third quarter. 1st and 10 for Kerry Collins. He's thrown his 4th interception to the range starts, and he will go in untouched for 6.
They just did a great job of recognizing the route combinations. And I think when Stark saw that the inside guy was going to go to the flat, he saw the slant-flat combination instantaneously and jumped it even faster than the receiver did. Watching the sideline of the Giants, you could just see our confidence growing and them realizing we're in deep trouble here.
Now they're panicking now.
Stover with a high climbing kick. Dixon will range back to his own 3. Dixon to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30, 40. There goes Ron Dixon. Ron Dixon's going to go. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown, 97 yards for Ron Dixon. And maybe the Giants do have a life with 3:31 to go in the 3rd.
We had complete control of the game. We knew that. But now your worst nightmare, all of a sudden they've got hope. They return the kickoff for the touchdown. So I'm going to say, okay, well, this is going to test us now.
Hey, now, you know why? On that last kickoff, keep your head in the game. You're back here around, big big time. That's your problem, Brad. You got so much potential if you'll just stay focused for 60 minutes. You can do that when you're a world champion. Focus. Now you make a play here, okay?
Suddenly the Giant fans up making noise. They got some life. DeLuiso, good foot into this one. 16-yard line, Jermaine Lewis. 25-30. Jay Lou kicks it outside. He's at the 40, 45. He's at midfield. Down the far sideline. Still on his feet. He's gone all the way. All right.
Back to back. Yeah.
When Jermaine Lewis returns the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown, at that point, we all knew we were Super Bowl champions, because emotionally, there was no way the Giants were going to come back from that glimmer of hope, and now obviously dashing all hopes of winning the game.
Doesn't look too good for the Big Blue.
Pitch out. Jamal Lewis trying to circle the left side. Head down. Hit. Dives. Lost the football in the end zone, but was he in?
Put your hands up.
Touchdown. Yes, he was.
Yeah, they're done.
Here's Stover to kick off. Line drive picked up on the 11-yard line by Dixon. Dixon coming wide to the near side. Now gets away from a tackler. And hit from behind. Fumble. And the Ravens have the football.
And this has become a nightmare for Jim Fossil and the New York Giants in Super Bowl 35.
We knew pretty much from about the end of the third quarter on, we were going to be Super Bowl champs. So we kind of had a whole quarter to try to stay focused on what we're doing, but, embrace what was happening in terms of winning a Super Bowl.
That Ravens sideline is ready to explode.
I remember walking up and down the sideline, and I told one of our ball boys,
I want you to go empty out all the water containers.
No, you better.
Andrew, who's in charge here? I get water thrown on me, you're fired.
Oh, no.
it's cold, and I don't want to get wet. And they had no part of it. I got doused with it anyway. But it's kind of a rite of passage. It's very special. And the fact that we had so much time to really appreciate what was happening made it all that much more special.
World champs, bro.
Ray Lewis has just been announced as the Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, my goodness.
And he represents what that defense is all about.
This is the most emotional 3 or 4 hours in your life. And the party that ensues after it is like none you've ever been. So we partied all night long. Well, they decided that the winning head coach should get in front of all the sports media in the country at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, so about 6:30 at the party, I'm thinking, I got to go freshen up. I got to go face these media guys. And I had, for lack of a better term, a panic attack, because it hit me at that point. My God, what have we done? This was just in my second year of coaching. How do you follow up with this? What are the expectations going to be going forward? And it was at that time that what we had done really hit home. All we heard was, well, it doesn't mean anything if you don't win the Super Bowl, because no one thought we could. When you can go in and win a Super Bowl with the quantifiable numbers, whatever barometer, whatever metric you want to use to measure the greatest single-season defense in the history of the league, it's got to begin with points scored and did you win a Super Bowl, and we win on both counts. That's the definition of a legend.